Round 2 of the WNBL, and a team this week in quarantine unexpectedly after the cluster in Adelaide. We've had Liz Cambage continue her high output season, and we continue to learn about this boom teenager Jade Melbourne with the Canberra Capitals. There's a lot to like about the WNBL. Today it's Townsville up against Bendigo, two teams last year that won 5 wins each for the season. This year, one side looks like a playoff team and the other side seemingly in development mode. Can they chalk up their first win of the season today? Corbin Middlemass and Laurie Chiswick on hand. Laurie, a lot to look forward to, the fire and the spirit as the WNBL rolls on.
Corbin, both these teams have different reasons to want to go out and play really well today. For Townsville, it's really important. They're going to be in that middle cluster of teams that perhaps might lose to those top 3, but are really vying for that 4th spot. And they've done a good job so far of beating Sydney and Perth. And so this is another team. For Bendigo, as you mentioned, they want their first up win. They want to come and they want to play well. They want to play well for 4 quarters. We know that Tracy York talked about that. She talked about last game against Perth. They put together 3 good quarters. They now need 4.
And we may have just learnt as much about Townsville as anything in their game against the Southside Flyers. A loaded lineup, lost by 12 points, despite big numbers from Liz Cambage. They were super competitive in that game. The third member of our team, Megan Huswaite, is courtside. Bendigo and Townsville coming up next. It's a home game, Megan, of course, for the Townsville Fire.
It is. Good afternoon, Corbin and Laurie. A crowd starting to filter in here at Townsville Stadium. Some injury news from the Bendigo camp to start with. Shelby Britton, the young guard who's coming through with the Spirit, is out of today's game. She rolled her ankle at shoot-around this morning, so there will be 1 player down for this afternoon's game against the Fire. I spoke with both of the coaches during pre-match, and Shannon Seaborn is expecting Townsville to build on their promising effort against Southside on Thursday night.
Yeah, definitely a great opportunity, and I think that's been the whole thing with this whole season, is you get to bounce back with the game, every second day, and we've got some things we need to work on after our last game, and hopefully we can put that into play today against Bendigo. You'll
underestimate Bendigo at your own peril. What are you expecting from the Spirit?
Oh, I think they're really tough. I've watched quite a few of their games now, obviously, and I think they've improved every game that they've played, and I know Tracy's a great coach, so I'm sure she'll have a good game plan today. They've obviously got 2 really good players that we need to watch out for, and it'll be fun.
What are you expecting from Townsville this afternoon? They put up a good show against the Flyers the other night.
Yeah, they were great. Yeah, we ended up having dinner in Mackay somewhere and we're watching that game, and they were really, really good. I think what they'll probably focus on Carly and Tessa in our group, and we've got to see how we battle that and get others involved in the game.
And finally, what will it mean for this entire group to get their first win this afternoon?
Oh, well, I think like any sport, it'd mean a lot. We know it's a journey, so either way, we're not going to, throw the baby out with the bathwater. We'd love to win, definitely, and we'll see what happens at the end.
Thanks, Tracy. All the best this afternoon.
Thanks, Megan.
So the Bendigo Spirit, they're 0-4 to start the new season. The Townsville Fire 2-2. Corbin Middlemass and Laurie Chiswick. Laurie, take us through the starting 5, first of all, for the Townsville Fire.
Well, their starting 5 have been pretty safe and secure in their first 4 games, and they're going with that same group out there. Heel averaging 15 points, Nicholson 18.3 points per game. But what I like about them is their bench. They're really solid when they come in, and they don't lose a lot. It really flows on. So expect a lot from their bench as well as their starters.
We'll talk more about Chyla Heel, I'm sure, throughout the broadcast. A second-generation baller. Let's take a look, though, at the Bendigo Spirit starting 5.
Well, interestingly, we can see that Palvast has replaced Frawling in the starting lineup. I think this is her first start, so that'll be interesting to see how she handles the pressure of starting. And as the coach alluded to, Tracy York, really they need to get more people involved other than just Ernst and Levy. Get those others. They need to step up. They need to bring some scoring punch, some rebounding punch, so that they can try and notch up that elusive first win.
Bendigo started their season on this court in Townsville. They've been to Mackay, had a 2-game road trip, 5.5-hour trip bus trip back yesterday, Laurie. So I'm sure they might be feeling a little lethargic. They would have slept well last night, I'm sure, after a long time on the bus.
Well, you know, that's the thing. We look at the schedule and we think, oh, they've got a day off here and then they play. But sometimes that day off is a travel day, and that's really hard to can be considered a day off because you can't have your massages, you can't have your physio treatment because you're on a bus. So it really does make a difference.
The other side of things, the Townsville Fire, 2-2. Shannon Seabohm, their senior coach, quoted as saying after the loss to the Flyers, we need to treat every game like a must-win match. So happy particularly with the 89 points that they put up against a really good team. Not happy with the effort on the defensive side of the ball, giving up 100 points. So he says he wants his team to lock down today, so expect a strong showing defensively from the Townsville Fire. Round 2 continues in the WNBL to be played up in North Queensland, and Townsville at their home floor, 2-2 up against Bendigo. 0-4, but it's the Spirit with the opening tip. Here's Tessa Lavey trying to dribble her way in, turnaround jump shot off the glass, doesn't go. Nicholson got a hand on it. Last touch though by Bendigo, so it'll be Townsville ball.
We're going to see obviously the ball in Tessa Lavey's hands a lot, trying to create for herself and for her teammates.
This is Shyla Heel against her old side, for what it's worth. Of course, the 18-year-old playing last year with Bendigo. Oh, going to be called for a walk here, trying to kick it back out to Nicholson.
I was thinking about that, Corbin, that Tracy York would know Shyla Heel's game better than anybody, having coached her last year, and perhaps might know some of her weaknesses if she has any, which she does.
Here's Amelia Todd-Hunter, the bounce pass up top to Lavey. The opal Tessa Lavey swings it inside, and Balvas gets the first points of the game off the glass.
That's great for her as a starter, coming into that starting lineup, and it was a good find by Lavey.
Shavana Palvast with Bendigo this season. Long range 3 and finds bottom. The Dean Payne with the triple. Missed the game against the Flyers midweek. Back here in an early basket. Trying to lay it home unsuccessfully. Bendigo get the offensive board, and Mary Goulding with the putback, good for 2.
That's one thing. Offensive rebounds can have such an impact on a game, and you've got to just make sure you get the blocking out done every single time.
Nicholson, one of the real stars of the competition, to Heel. Draws the double team. Back to Lauren Nicholson, cutting baseline, little runner, misses everything. Bendigo come up with it. Lavey out to the corner, catch and shoot, Todd-Hunter, and it rattles in. Nice start for the Spirit, 7-3.
I like that push from Lavey. She went down the court. The defense wasn't quite set. She changed her pace, got it to Todd-Hunter, who was really ready to pull the trigger straight away.
Nice bounce pass down low, and Mia Murray, the easy basket off the glass. Returning Townsville Fire vet. In the last couple of years after becoming a mum for the first time. Spirit back on the offense. Here's Palvas cutting to the basket. Nice drive and lays it home for 2.
She used her quickness against Megan McKay. Megan just probably hasn't quite got the foot speed there, and she took advantage of that.
Nice pass, Payne out to the corner, heel for 3, rims out. Up tempo transition, Todd-Hunter to Lavey. Nice basket, fast start for Bendigo. It's happening for them offensively.
Tracy York would be really happy with the intensity, the focus, the endeavor that they've come out with.
Murray trying to dump it down low to Heel. Foul, to Nicholson rather, foul drawn.
Baseline, ladies. Just down here, thanks.
I love how when there's a call like that, both teams huddle up and they're practically together.
Heel chucks it into the defender, and it ricochets off the hands of Carly Ernst. So Bendigo win it. Todd-Hunter out wide, shot goes up, misses. Long range rebound off the Ernst shot. We know she's a deadly shooter, Carly Ernst. If she catches 5 from long range, they could have a real game on their hands here. Townsville, they chuck it away again. Bendigo in transition, Lavey 2 more, lays it home.
That's a much needed timeout is called. They really need to address their defensive transition. Bendigo have gotten a couple of really easy baskets from just going out and running the lanes hard.
I mentioned the words from Shannon Seabohm where he They've really put an emphasis on their defensive effort. Townsville coming in this game after giving up 100 midweek against the Flyers. Well, 13 points in quick time at Bendigo. Have caught Townsville flat-footed here, Laurie Chiswick, 13-5. It's a 8-point spread.
We're down to play the Bendigo Spirit game tomorrow. Well, that's not actually the case. Tomorrow the home team will be the Melbourne Boomers.
Trying to listen to Shan, but I'm sure he would be addressing that very thing, that we can't give them any easy baskets, talk about some things defensively, and then give them the first play that they want to run out of this timeout.
You can see Nicholson at the bottom of the screen for people that are new to the WNBL, Laurie. Just one of the true stars of the game, a deadly shooter. She's obviously a threat offensively, but one of the best defenders in the game as well as a two-way star.
Right, if it's not there, pick it here, go and set the spread ball screen and play out.
The only thing I got out of that was the high-low action at the end of whatever piece of offense that they're looking at running.
Might check in with Megan Huswaite if we can, who's courtside there for us. Megan, did you catch any of that?
Yes, I was just in Bendigo's huddle at that timeout, and it was the captain, Tessa Lavey, who took control early with her team. They're flat-footed, she said, of the Townsville Fire.
The Kuso out there for the Fire is Mia Murray. Back to Shyla Hill. Pulls up, long range two, off the iron, O-board. Murray tries to put it back unsuccessfully, and they get the stop now, Bendigo. Lavey to Todd Hunter up the floor, and another easy lay-in. More points in transition for Bendigo.
Townsville really need to address that pretty quickly, otherwise they're going to be playing catch-up basketball the whole game.
They've come out cold, Bendigo, with a nice start. Lauren Nicholson tries her hand in the mid-range game, misses. Last touch Bendigo over the baseline, so Townsville conceding the last 8 points in the game. Weak side corner. Murray catches, shoots, misses. Long rebound to Heel. Lost the handle. Loose ball in the middle of the court. Townsville scrapping for it. Eventually pull it free through Megan McKay.
I feel like Townsville are really pulling the trigger early on their shots, their selection right now, and I've been so impressed watching their past few games, how they get through their structure, how the ball gets through people's hands, they shift the defense and then get a good look. I feel right now even though it's such an early part of the game, they're feeling some scoreboard pressure and really letting it fly early.
Mia Murray sits down as Kate Gaze checks in, one of just 2 returning Townsville Fire players from last season. Very unusual, a 5-win season for Townsville last year after so much success in recent seasons. A couple of championships in that time. The ref called jump ball out of all that, so possession arrow with the Fire. There's a Kuso trying to make her way to the rack, called for the walk. So again, they cough it up on the offensive side of the ball, and Bendigo really firing on the other end of the floor. Laurie Chiswick at 70% from the field so far, and a lot of those points in transition.
Well, they're just up and energized right now. They're playing together.
Ernst to Pelvast. Away to Goulding, who dumps it down low. Ernst swings it back to her. Mary Goulding through traffic. Lays it home for another basket. Bendigo 17, Townsville 5. Heel to the weak side corner. Dribble penetration. Nicholson. There's the basket they're after. Stops a 10-0 run. The Fire with some points to their superstar, Lauren Nicholson. What a year she's having so far. 18 points per game through the opening 4 games for Townsville. Goulding for back-to-back baskets. Gets the shooter's roll.
That was really good defense from Nicholson, sliding her hips, getting her hips up and over that screen and forcing her to shoot over a hand. It was just a great shot.
Goulding makes it anyway. Bendigo can't miss at the other end. Nice little runner over the defense by Shyla Hill. Lavey, step back off the dribble. Misfires. Ooh, rebound to Gaze. Almost had her pocket picked. Todd Hunter, who called for the foul. I see Amelia Todd Hunter back in the league this year as well. She's entering her 13th WNBL season. Of course, a champion with the Boomers in the past. back to help out the Spirit this year.
She's got such an amazing work ethic, Mills, and she's a great defender, and she'll be playing her role really well with Bendigo.
Here's a Kuso up top. 10 left on the red numbers. Down low to McKay. Trying to make her way to the basket. Draws the foul. Guarded by Ernst and Froling. Now some foul shots coming up for Townsville. Just trying to settle in this game. They've been jumped out of the gates. What a start for Bendigo.
That was a great little shot fake from McKay under the basket there at the dunker spot. Got Carly Ernst up in the air and then just a little step through. And she used her strength to keep going to the basket and draw the foul.
First shot from McKay's good. First 3 games of the season, Bendigo trailed in each of them at quarter time. In fact, they lost their first 10 quarters of the season. The Spirit, they're 3-3 in the 6 quarters since. And on track to claim the advantage at quarter time here. What a start. 9 points out in front, 1 of 2 at the line from McKay.
So Corbin, is this a trend we're going to, last time we did a game together, we talked about the halftime trend.
Yes.
Up and we smashed that one. How about this one now?
I'll see how many I can bust along the way. But the overall lead conversion from quarter time on is 9 and 6. The 15 teams that have led at quarter time this season. Levy slips over, gets up with the ball, shot up, no good. Bit of fire ball, last touch Bendigo. Telecast across the country. A 9-point advantage as Townsville lose the handle coming up the floor. Levy back with it. Dumps it down low. Out to Pelvas. Catch and shoot for 3. Clean look. Can't convert. And Froling grabs the rebound. She's fouled in the process. McLean, Froling, Pelvas, Ernst and Levy, the 5 on the floor for Bendigo.
Townsville already have 5 turnovers, really uncharacteristic for them. I thought they've been doing a really good job of taking care of the ball, but right now they're struggling.
Here's Ernst coming off big numbers against Perth during the week, a little too hard off the glass. McKay with the rebound. Reed pushing the tempo. Former Southside Flyer, decorated college career, Stephanie Reed. McKay. Away to Nicholson and back to Reed. Down to single digits on the shot clock. Has Nicholson free in the corner. Decides against it. Long range 3 balls up and drops. Kate Gaze from distance closes the gap to just 2 possessions.
And that's what Kate Gaze is known for, her 3-point shooting. Give her the ball if she's open.
Froling coming off the bench. Little jump hook misses. McKay with the rebound. Into the palm to Nicholson. Oh, had a foot on the sideline, so another turnover. Bendigo to get it back.
Right heel, step down.
So it's just not necessary a great rebound like that. I know you want to push the ball, but Nicholson was so close to the sideline to begin with. You've got to get your outlet, everything closer to the middle, to the lane lines.
6-0 the turnovers. Townsville with all 6. Ernst turnaround jump is good. She's so deadly in that scenario where she just turns around and able to pull up. Thanks to the long range 2. Along the baseline, Nicholson, extra pass to Reed, catch and shoot for 3, misses. Levy the rebound.
It was a good extra pass, and I'd put money on Reed making that shot. So, you can't worry about that.
Levy thought about the look. Oh, to Froling, loose pass, chucks it away. Reed for Townsville. Pulls up for the free throw line. Rims out. Rebound to Goulding.
Straight, straight. Hands up, hands up.
Ernst off the dribble. Down to Froling. The left hand, chucks it straight to McKay. Couple of turnovers at both ends of the floor as we near the concluding stages of this opening quarter. What a start for the Spirit. Neat pass, Gaze. Brought to the right side, and as a result, a clean catch and easy lane for Lauren Nicholson.
What I liked,
back to 6.
Sorry, Corbin. What I liked about Lauren is she was doing a lot of work early. So she was positioning her body, getting herself ready so that if she did get a pass, she had lots of room to maneuver. Oh, my goodness.
More turnovers, more points. Levy trying to put it back, misses. Levy has a second go at it, draws the foul, makes the basket, and one to come at the line.
Sign up, thanks, ladies. Sign up, yeah.
Kuso trying to exit the backcourt, give it to Reed. On the end of all of that, Levy's able to score the basket on the back of the interception by McLean.
One shot.
Megan, if you can have a look at Akuzo running the floor. To me, she looks a bit fatigued or just a bit slower than she has been the last few games. So if you can, just keep your eye out for her.
I will, Laurie. She was on the exercise bike when she was off on the bench the other night against Southside, so I will monitor the fire bench.
Nicholson trying to go to work offensively, tries to lay it home, can't get it to go. Out to McLean, through the key, tries to put the shot up, draws the foul. Gaze called for it. 9-point spread, 40 seconds to go before quarter time. Cassidy McLean at Nova Castrian. Missed last season as a result of a knee injury, but back this year.
Yeah, it's great to see her back out there. You know, anytime anybody does an ACL, it's a long road to recovery. And so it's wonderful to see her back playing.
Hits the first at the line.
One shot.
She's 20% this year from the free throw line. You know, she's much safer than that from here. But she makes both of them. What a start for Bendigo. Yet to win a game, 0-4 on the season. Townsville playing for a playoff berth. But it's Bendigo who've got the jump on them. Heel misses the layup, still follows up, kicks it back out. Long range shot doesn't go. Bendigo will have the last look at it here in the opening quarter. Todd Hunter to Goulding, the Kiwi. Back up top to Todd Hunter. 5 left on the game clock. Todd Hunter trying to find a way through. Out to McLean, who shoots right as the board lights up. No additional points, but plenty of them in that opening quarter.
Or more. It's just present your ticket to McDonald's and North Queensland restaurant to redeem yourself a free Big Mac tomorrow. So if one of the teams today scores more than 100 points, tomorrow you can rock in, show them your ticket from today, grab yourself a free Big Mac. Courtesy of McDonald's, big supporters of basketball in North Queensland, particularly WNBL in this whole time. The game day sponsor today is Wilmar Sugar. I want to acknowledge also too the support we get from JCU University. Did you know that JCU has 5 stars for skills development and learner engagement? Your world-class education begins here. Google JCU for more information and be ready today for tomorrow. We thank also the Townsville City Council. We're proud to be a major sponsor. The moment is the events capital of Northern Australia. They're sitting with opportunity and great lifestyle. And we want to acknowledge the fact that we have the mayor with us this afternoon. So, good to see you, Jenny. Yep, she's just gone downstairs. I'll talk to her later.
What a start for the Bendigo Spirit. Tessa Lavey with 7 points in that opening quarter. This one of those baskets. And they lead by 11 over the Townsville Fire. Somewhat of a shock, the undefeated or the winless team up against a side who's 2-2. Megan Huswaite courtside. Megan.
Well, Corbin, the Froling family are royalty here in Townsville, and the queen of the family and of the WNBL is Jenny Froling, mother of Alicia and Keely in the WNBL. Jenny, you must be very happy with that first quarter from the Spirit.
Came out great, yeah, it's very good, so I hope they can keep going.
You've watched Keely play the last few years and in back-to-back championships with the UC Capitals. What's it like watching Alicia in her rookie WNBL season?
It's good watching her live. It's nerve-wracking watching your children play, so, I mean, we just hope they're going to do well.
We hope for your sake Bendigo get their maiden win today and Alicia plays well. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Great work, Megan. Always nice to hear from the Froling family. Almost the first family of Basketball Australia. The contributions right across the board. And you have a very special relationship, of course, with the Froling family, going back a long way too.
Oh my
Laurie
goodness,
Chizzy.
my first coaching job at Nuttawading, Jenny Lind, who she was at the time, was my manager, and what a great manager she was. Just a great family.
Big part of this league, of course, Keely with championships in back-to-back years with the Canberra Capitals, and Alicia missed all of last year with that wrist complaint, back out there, which is good to see for Bendigo in the 41st edition of the WNBL. Work to do for Townsville here. What were your impressions of that opening term, Laurie?
Well, put Townsville aside for a second. Bendigo, the thing I liked most about them is that they actually had a spread of scoring. They weren't just, Carly Ernst isn't even in their top 3 scoring, so to me that's a really good sign. They're sharing the ball a bit. They're trying to get a few more people involved, which they needed to do, and they're doing very well.
McKay with a much-needed basket to start the second term. Tessa Lavey pulls up, big rainbow 3, doesn't go. McKay floats through, pulls down the rebound. Draws a foul in the process. Megan Huswaite was listening into the Bendigo Spirit huddle at quarter time. I imagine Tracy York would have been pretty happy, Megan.
I think she was pretty happy on the inside, Corbin. She was very cool, calm and collected on the outside and just focused on the job at hand, but they're very happy with that start. They're already playing some of their best basketball of WNBL 20.
26 points in the quarter. It's their highest scoring quarter any term all season. At the other end, Shyla Heel drives all the way to the rack and lays it home for 2.
You know, I have no doubt that Townsville is going to come back in some way, shape, or form. They're too good of a team. They're too well coached. I love how Mackay is playing right now. She's really playing her role. She's up to 5 boards already. We could just see there she was holding out a player. But it's at Achilles' heel right now, their defensive transition. Bendigo are doing a fantastic job of taking advantage of the lack of defense from Townsville.
More points for Mary Goulding. 9-point differential. Long-range 3-point attempt doesn't go. Courtney Woods on the floor, and Shyla Hill with the long rebound. Hill goes herself off the dribble, trying to drive it to the basket. It's touched on the way through by Lavey. Townsville will get it back.
6 out. 2.
With the inbound, Judy's Shyla Hill. Oh, long-range triple. Pulls up, knocks it down. And that's, of course, what she can do. Lauren Nicholson up to 7 points. At the other end, more easy points for Bendigo as they kick it up the floor in a hurry, and Goulding with another easy layup. Nicholson catches, dribbles, pulls up just outside the keyway, answers back with a basket. So it's Goulding and Nicholson just trading buckets at either end of the floor at the moment. The gap's closed to 6. That's Bendigo's lead, and a timeout called by the Spirit.
Nicholson is just an outstanding player. She's got so many weapons that she can use. Her long-range shot, her drive, her caginess, her pull-up. She's just a lot of fun to watch.
You mentioned Shyla Heal's name a few times with Bendigo last year. She's in her 4th season in the WNBL. I must admit, as a kid growing up in the noughties, Laurie, there was plenty of time spent at Coburn Basketball Stadium and practice trying to chuck them up like Shane Hill back in the day with his shooting style over his head. And now Shyla's out here just inspiring a generation of boys and girls
You tidy that up
going forward, the 18-year-old sensation.
Hey, at the moment, offensively, the kick aheads are great. Fantastic. Make sure we're running with Mary on that. All right, next offense. Let's go swing a flare. All right, make sure we get through it. Don't force anything up. Get yourself free. Let's get into it. Here we go.
It's Tracy York, the Bendigo Spirit huddle, 6-point differential. Megan Huswaite courtside.
Shannon Seaborn just imploring his side to work harder and put some more effort in, especially going in the paint. We're half-assed at the moment was the direct quote. Not my words, but the words of Coach Shannon Seaborn.
Oh, Megan, are we allowed to say that?
Direct quote.
Direct quote, okay. You're good.
6-point differential. Here's Goulding. Chucks it down to Ernst, trying to back her way in. Turnaround jumper's good for 2. Carly Ernst.
She was really balanced when she stepped back and took that shot. Her eyes were on her target early.
Akuso catches down in the low block. Great spin move. Turns to the baseline, pops it home for an easy basket.
Good patience by Akuso on that basket. Wasn't rushing, checking out where her defense was.
Levy trying to thread the needle, trying to find McLean underneath the basket. Pretty good touch on it on the way through. Courtney Woods, Nicholson, Heel, Woods, Payne, and Akuso out there for Townsville. Ernst. Turnaround jumper up, doesn't go. Heel out to Woods, down low to Akuso for back-to-back baskets. Nice little jump hook. 2 more.
Well, they're listening to what their coach had to say at the timeout, which is good going inside, being physical, making good finishes.
Back to a 4-point game. Ernst from long range, nothing but nylon. Carly Ernst. Beautiful stroke, just has great range too. She can, as we know, we've seen her hit some long 3-pointers in the past, and just a great jump shooter. Coming off a big outing, 28 points and 10 rebounds against Perth the other night. Stays at 6 points. Have a look at this again on the back of the Shyla Heel jumper. There's Tracy York, the coach of the Bendigo Spirit.
14 here. Here you go.
Various teams in the competition, Laurie, have different setups in terms of ownership and management structure. And given the COVID crisis this year, as Akuso just going to work now, more points for her down in the low block. Bendigo are one of the teams, I think, that have felt that as hard as any team in the competition this year.
Oh, look, they've battled, they've restructured. It's, they're in regional Victoria. We know all that's gone on in Victoria. So yeah, it's been tough. It's tough to recruit there, and they had success early on, and it's just a battle. And I think for Tracy to put together this team and to the youth that she's got, and to really keep going with them and see what she can build is a good thing.
Oh, Goulding for 3. Just rattles it in. Mary Goulding having the afternoon so far. She's up to 13 points. Averaging 6 a game for the first 4 this season. Shyla Hill, beautiful work off the dribble, through the lane, kicks it out. 3-point attempt up, doesn't go. Up the floor to Todd Hunter. Back to Goulding, trying to lay it home. Took out the defender in the process. As Woods goes crashing into the advertising hoardings, and McLean, the open player, bangs down the triple. There's a bit happening on that play. Bendigo by 7 points. Timeout called by Shannon Seabohm. Wants to talk it over.
Well, one of the things that, you know, for Townsville, that they're back on defense, but they're not ready. So they may stop that first initial cut or pass, but then they're not ready for that next one. So whilst you're back in D-Trans, you've got to be ready to play, and Bendigo are just taking advantage of that.
Down low, so we've got to push her off the block. Make sure you guys don't give them a layup. So she's one that wants to work off your body and off the spin move. So you've got to gap and carry a hand and contain her between her and the basket. All right, if you were down that end and we were in neutral, you should have been setting that on ball, set it hard, and then roll, even if it's not that normal position that you would get.
You've got weak side?
Yeah, okay, let's have a look. But I want Chevy on that week. Let's do this. We're going to go this side, so you're going to be the high post. So we'll do it, and you'll UCLA cut, but I want you to pop out. You're going to receive the pass. I want Chevy here. So on the reversal, Chevy, you're going to rip drive to the basket, okay? So it's pop, execute, yeah.
10-point game. The winless Bendigo Spirit lead it by 10. At a 10-0 run in the opening quarter. They led by 11 points at quarter time, and they've withstood a Townsville Fire fight back in this second term already, Laurie Chiswick.
Well, they have, and again, it's, you know, to Bendigo's credit, they've played really consistently. Townsville have been a little bit up, different momentum swings, but Townsville are a good team, and we will see what they can bring the rest of this quarter.
Nicholson trying to work her way towards the basket, turnaround jumper doesn't go. It's Tessa Levy. Step back, 3-point attempt, catches the front of the rim, and Murray with the rebound. Nice work, driving her way in. The shot goes for Courtney Woods. 23-year-old. 5 years with NIU Huskies in Illinois.
That's exactly the play that Tracy called at the timeout. Reverse the ball, catch the ball, rip and go to the basket. Levy had popped out to the offside.
Pelbas, the beneficiary with the bucket. At the other end, Akuso misses. Rentala out there for her first minutes. The dunker spot for Bendigo. Is Levy off the dribble, creating herself, turnaround jump shot, foul. She'll head to the line to shoot a couple.
Just out here, thanks, Gus. Thanks, you.
What have you made of Tessa Levy's afternoon so far?
Awesome, thanks, Gus.
I think for me, the best thing about Levy is when she is nice and balanced when she shoots the ball. To me, you know, she gives it every chance of going in. I think there's times, and perhaps it's maybe end of a shot clock when she's not quite so balanced. But when she, you know, takes that shot and balance, it looks really good. She's pushing the ball well tonight, and she's getting her teammates involved, which is really important.
Of course, a Rio Olympian. Tessa Levy with the Australian Opals, part of the squad this time around for Tokyo next year as well. 4 in the Opal squad out there on court. She's the only one for Bendigo as Woods puts up the 3-point attempt, misses. Over Murray, the putback doesn't go. And Rentala pulls it down, she's fouled.
Murray would be disappointed in that. That would have been a great putback.
So Bendigo just only holding Townsville at bay, but they lead it by 12 points here, so they're winning the quarter. He's Goulding, puts up a tough shot, catches the bottom of the rim. Ooh, slips over in the open court. Here's Nicholson, goes all the way, draws the foul en route. She'll head to the line for a couple. Lauren Nicholson. Speaking of those others in the Opal squad, Nicholson 1, Shyla Heel. Zatina Akuso, despite missing a lot of last year with that torn ACL, which probably says a lot about her talents and the way that Sandy Brondello, among others, feel about Akuso.
Well, it's great that she's got this WNBL, even though it's a condensed season, to get back out on the floor and test it out, get your confidence up. Coming back from an ACL, a lot of it is physically you're fine. It's just getting over that mental hurdle. And she looks like every game she's, you know, overcoming that. We saw those, you know, 3 baskets in a row, 6 points earlier on in this quarter.
Lauren Nicholson thanks both at the free throw line. She's up to 11 points. Trying to set the full court trap. Bendigo work their way through it. McLean finds her way to the basket. The scoop layup misses. They win it back. It's Goulding again. Comes up with the ball. Bendigo with another lick at the offense. Levy up top. Rintala for the long range 3. Misses everything. Comes up a little short.
Speaking of coming back from ACLs, when I was, you know, doing my research on Bendigo, and I was wondering where Georgia Pinot was. And she unfortunately did her ACL while Bendigo were in quarantine when they had their practice match against Southside. So that's really unfortunate for her. She would have been a really good acquisition for the Bendigo Spirit. Just a shout out to her, as I'm sure she's watching from her couch this afternoon.
Megan McKay finishes. She's fouled as well, so she'll head to the line for the +1.
Points again. 1 shot.
Okay, 5 points, 5 rebounds so far. Chance to add to her points tally here. Can't connect. Ernst with the rebound. Kicks it up the floor to Pelvas. Bendigo reload. Tessa Levy. Pelvas caught in 2 minds, trying to dump it down low to Ernst and chucked it away.
Yeah, wasn't quite sure what she was going to do.
Here's Woods on the perimeter, shoots the 3, misses. McKay the rebound and the putback.
She is monstering the boards out there. It's so good to see. She's such a young talent. Love it.
Megan McKay now all of a sudden up to 7.6 boards. Not even at half time. Among the starters, the 23-year-old. Coming off a rookie year in the pros, playing over in Germany. Before that, a college career with St. Mary's. It's a school which has produced plenty of fine Australian basketballers over the years. Megan McKay in the huddle here with the Townsville Fire, leading the way with 7 and 6 her numbers. On the scoreboard, 44-38, so it's back to a 6-point differential. Bendigo not long ago led it by 12, a game high in this second quarter. Laurie Chiswick.
Well, we knew that we couldn't keep Townsville down for long. You know, that 6-point margin is, you know, they've brought it back. I think Shannon, again, would be a little concerned with, you know, 1:17 to go, and Bendigo have already scored 44 points. He talked about that needing to be a focus, especially after the last game against Southside, where they scored, you know, big numbers.
Minute 17 to go before halftime. Bendigo came into this as a significant underdog. 0-4. Just turning on the TV or tuning in for the first time this afternoon. Townsville on their home floor, 2-2. Many basketball pundits have tipped them to return to the playoffs this year. To Bendigo by 6. McLean just got it through to Pelvas with a hand on it from Murray on the way through. Shavana trying to back away into the basket. Ernst recovers the ball, kicks it out to Levy with the long-range 3 from downtown. Tessa Levy with the bomb.
And how balanced was she? She just stepped into it, 1-2 release. That was so pretty to watch.
Back to a 9-point game. Stroke of halftime. Reed out to Murray. Drives through the keyway, shot up, and it's good. Back to 7 points. Tessa Lavey just running the show. Conductor of this Bendigo orchestra at the moment that have a nice lead and they're heading towards a half-time advantage for the first time this year. Ernst pulls the trigger, misses. Woods with the rebound. Shot clock dead here. Nicholson drives, kicks it out to Woods, doesn't shoot, almost lost the handle. Back to Nicholson, no time left, and that'll do us. Bendigo 7 up at half-time, 47-40. The Spirit, they led it by 11 at quarter time. They now lead it by 7 at the half. What a quarter of basketball. They've been super impressive, the Bendigo Spirit, back in Townsville, doing a job on a home team at the moment. Let's go to Megan Huswaite. She's got Tessa Lavey alongside her.
I am with Tessa Lavey. Tessa, that is your best half of basketball of the year. How does it feel?
It feels really good. I feel like I've been working really hard and the team's been working really hard, so it's nice to get some reward, yeah.
They're going to come at you. They've already done it a few times in the first half. How do you combat that?
Just combat back, same. Lots of energy, lots of ball pressure, rotations are key on our defence, and then running in offence.
Let's talk about Mary Golding. She's showing exactly why Tracy York recruited her.
Yeah, she's been huge for us. She's getting out of the lanes. That's key. Kick up early, we're getting layups, so that's the goal. Next half we're on.
And the message from Tracy, you think, at halftime?
Keep going. Keep bringing that energy. Defence, we've got to keep going with that, yeah.
We'll let you keep going. Thank you, Tessa. Good luck in the second half.
It's great access. Thanks, Megan, with Tessa Lavey running the show for Bendigo. A 7-point advantage. There's the key numbers. Laurie Chiswick, what jumps off the page at you?
Oh, well, the fact that Bendigo's ahead is what jumps out at me. You know, their rebounds are pretty similar. Turnovers, certainly, the Townsville won't be. We talked about that, won't be happy about that. I love how Bendigo's, the assist level is, they're sharing the ball much more than they usually do. And both teams are shooting the ball at a pretty good clip.
They only had 1 turnover in that second quarter. They had 7 in the first term, would you believe? And so despite that, Bendigo still holding a 7-point advantage. Let's take a look at a couple of the match highlights of that second quarter. That nice turnaround jumper from Carly Ernst. When she finds her range, she's incredibly hard to stop with that kind of jump shot, shooting from that height.
Well, I must say, and I mentioned it earlier, I've been impressed with the role that McKay's playing. She's just doing the little things, the blue-collar things, the hard-working things, and it's really having an impact in helping her team. And then you tag team that with Akuso and how she's getting to the basket. That's a good result for Townsville. On the flip side, we've got Bendigo, who, I mean, Goulding, I'm just loving the fact that, she's right involved.
Some people were saying this Bendigo team, they may not win a game, they're just here to make up the numbers. Well, they're certainly showing their worth at the moment. They're up at half-time, lead by 7.
That's it. And you know what you're doing? That's it. Straight down the old gutter. Yep, nice work. And so we have another shot. And again, he's displaying this right side bias, which I think is interesting. So, but there's the style, and the right side bias gone entirely. So, last one. And of course, the girls would spend probably 10 or 15 minutes doing this. But what's good about sparking is that he doesn't actually upset the pins. These pins don't have to be tidied up, they don't have to be cleaned, they don't have to be maintained in any way. We come down now to more of a basketball-related exercise. Okay, and this, this is another aspect of it. Sometimes anger management has to come into the treatment that Brent puts together for the team. And of course, shooting out is... Sparky's in the unfortunate position that his nose gets in the way of his
Beautiful Townsville, home of 36 games throughout this year's edition of the WNBL, including this one at halftime where the Bendigo Spirit lead at 47-40. That's right, the Bendigo Spirit, the team that's 0-4, they lead at halftime up against the Townsville Fire. Well, Laurie Chiswick, it's been an unexpectedly busy week for the WNBL after the situation in South Australia. The cluster, obviously, which broke out in Adelaide, has forced the Adelaide Lightning into quarantine. So already a condensed schedule to now have a team that's had to go into quarantine until at least Sunday has obviously caused a few headaches for the league. But they have come up with a very suitable outcome to shorten the season. So instead of 14 games per team, it'll just be 13. Each team will miss one. And obviously Adelaide have a few back-to-backs to try and make up the time lost.
I can't imagine what BA and the powers to be had to go through to do all this readjusting. It's, a bit of a nightmare for sure, but I think, I went through it as you did yesterday with a fine-tooth comb to look at everything, and I think they've come up with as reasonable new fixture as they can, dropping everybody by one game, because they wanted to keep the integrity of the competition going and keep it as fair as it can be. Certainly, out of all of this, the most pressure is on Adelaide and having to make those make-up games.
We'll see if we can take a look at the games that we are missing as a result of the fixture reshuffle. I want to draw your attention firstly to the bottom of the board. And I don't have a problem with this at all, but I feel like it's very deliberate the way that the games lost that we're missing out on. So the Southside Flyers would have been a prohibitive favourite against Bendigo. That game gets scratched, so they only play each other once, and that matchup's already happened. The Boomers and the Lynx, that game goes. The Boomers would have been heavily favoured in that game. A little closer, Canberra would have been the favourites against Sydney, so that's the top of the screen. And the extra meeting that we miss, Laurie, between Adelaide and Townsville, that could be very interesting towards the end of the season, where I think a lot of people feel like it's either Adelaide or Townsville, maybe the Sydney Flames, that could make up that final spot in the playoffs.
Well, that's exactly how I read it when I was looking at the cancelled matches. I thought, well, they've done a good job of not disadvantaging those bottom teams, and the games that we get are going to be close, because they've made the assumption that they perhaps will not win those games. But I agree with you, now to have that one game riding on perhaps fourth spot, and we know, it's not predictable right now. We can see how, we talk about Melbourne, how they came out just on fire against Southside, and then have had two not such great games, which we can talk about at another stage. But given everything, you assume that fourth spot is what's going to be up for grabs, and to have Townsville and Adelaide only play each other once, wow, that's going to be a massive game.
Yeah, for fixture, I guess not flexibility, but the respect that we have in the fixture, I think it's the best outcome. It's obviously an unforeseen circumstance to be able to have one team go into quarantine for a period of time, leading by example the Adelaide Lightning. Obviously, the Queensland government trying to get the message across that you've been in Adelaide in the last 7 days, last 14 days. It is important that you head into quarantine, and the Adelaide Lightning have done that. They'll be free to play their next game on Tuesday. It comes with a number of back-to-backs. They've got 3 back-to-backs and also significant travel involved as well.
Well, that's the one thing you look at this and you go, oh, Adelaide, there's some real challenges ahead of them. So they've been in a week of lockdown. They were hard locked down for 3 days, like not out of your room, and then they were able to train a little bit. They come back, they have to play back-to-back games in Townsville, then travel up to Cairns, and I mentioned that's not a day off, that's a travel day, then back-to-back games there, and then come back. So it certainly is a challenge for them. I have no doubt that Chris Lucas and Natty Hurst will rally the troops, will get behind them, and embrace adversity is what I like to say. So good luck to all the teams in that revised schedule now.
I'll tell you what, Laurie, I'd much rather be doing this job than coming up with a fixture, whoever's job it is to try and piece that together. I don't envy them, but I think this is the best of the situation that's unfolded, and we will see the Adelaide Lightning back on the floor on Tuesday. For what it's worth, they're the last undefeated team in the competition as well. They're 2-0.
Community together across numerous events to celebrate this wonderful festive time of year. For more information on Council's Christmas events, go to townsville.qle.gov.au.
Yeah.
Our improved used cars come with a generous warranty that guarantees years of motoring, plus the reassurance that only the best people are servicing your Audi. We choose only the best used cars. Come and experience one for yourself with a test drive at Audi. It's the people that make the Army what it is. Individuals with their own ambitions and stories. They will drive the Army forward. To discover what your Army could be, visit defencejobs.gov.au to find out more.
Keeping an ear out on what's happening in both camps. Megan.
I have Corbin and Laurie had a quick word to Tracy York out of half-time, and the message to her players was not to be complacent. They know Townsville are going to throw everything at them and some new stuff in the second half, but very happy with the first 2 quarters for Shannon Seabohm. The defence, it hasn't been good enough to this point, and it's going to be the focal point in this second half.
That was his message leading in. Still his message at half-time, giving up 47.5 of basketball. Last touch by Murray. Look who's forcing that turnover again. It's Mary Goulding. She's had 13 points, having a afternoon out so far for the Bendigo Spirit. Ernst trying to turn her way towards the basket. She draws the foul on her way there. Carly Ernst to be headed to the free throw line.
Well, she was smart to throw that ball up because she was really under the basket, and I feel like she got bailed out on that, but you know what? There she is at the line.
This is the first at the line. Second shot up, and it falls. The free throw percentage at 75 so far for the new season. Trap set by Bendigo. Townsville work their way through it, and Shyla Heal, teenage sensation, carrying the ball for Townsville. Bounce pass to McKay, who's having a great outing so far. Murray jacks the 3, misses. Ernst kicks it up the floor. There's Goulding again with the lay-in. Goulding up to 15 points, an early basket in the second half. Just picking up where she left off, Laurie Chizzy.
How good did she run the floor, and that pass, just a bullet pass right into her hands.
Shyla Heal trying to get something going. The step back 3, it's good. The dagger, Shyla Heal. Gets it back to 7 points. Okay, swats that away. I know you've liked her game so far.
I have. I just think she's had a real impact on it, and you know, right now, 7.6 boards. We just saw a nice block there. She's just getting involved.
He's Todd Hunter on the perimeter, trying to drive inside, does so, lays it up, can't get it to go.
That was good defense by Shyla, getting over that screen.
Heel. The back-to-back baskets, that's good as well. Long range 2. Top of the keyway, Shyla Heel. Up to 9.
I was going to say you might want to, get the ball through a few hands to shift the defense, but you know what? If you're going to hit 2 in a row like that, go for it.
Straight out.
Todd Hunter, late pass. Halvast gets the shooter's roll. Keeps it at 7 points. Shyla with the bounce pass away to Murray. And now Nicholson on the perimeter. And Lauren Nicholson sees a path through, kicks it back out to Murray. Step back off the dribble, misfires. Turnaround jumper goes up, no good. McKay pulls down a strong board. She's lost it, nice defending. Ernst with the block shot.
You see, I didn't think Townsville did a very good job there. Right early on in that initial on-ball, there was a switch made and Todd Hunter was on Payne that whole time. Now that's a huge height advantage, and they still weren't able to score out of it.
Ernst can't connect. Nicholson away to Murray. Here's Nadine Payne. Swings it down to Heel. Rolls around the pick, steps back, and neat mid-range jumper, and Shyla Heel is feeling it in his third turn.
That little step back is so hard to guard, and she's doing it superbly right now.
Back to a 5-point game. It's her third make of the quarter. Todd Hunter dumps it down low to Ernst, draws the foul. Caught on Nadine Payne, who missed the game against the Flyers midweek.
So Carly got that a good positioning because Levy set a good back pick. It got in the way and gave Ernst just that edge to get to the basket. That's one thing I think I had made in my notes that Townsville needed to, or sorry, Bendigo needed to use their screens more, and I think they're doing that in this game.
Megan Huswaite with us courtside. Megan, I noticed yesterday you caught up with Bentley. Can you tell us about who Bentley is and where he fits in relation to this game?
Bentley is the French bulldog of Nadine Payne, and he's sort of become the mayor of Townsville, to be honest. He gets stopped in the street and down on the Strand, and people address him by name. But I'm certainly getting my fix of puppy cuddles, and hello to my pug Coco. She'll be watching this broadcast on ABC and KO.
Wow, shout outs to dogs now.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about this.
Bentley's got his own Instagram account and everything. Nadine Payne's Frenchie, so it's great popularity. 7-point spread. Saw the foul call there on Shyla Heel underneath the bucket, trying to contest for the rebound. Goulding with 15 points leads all scorers. 11 now for Shyla. 11 for Nicholson. Bendigo still lead the game. We had 2 lead changes in the opening quarter. Bendigo led by 11 at quarter time. They've led since. Now 6 and change to go in the third. Catch and shoot in the corner. Rolls across the front of the rim. McKay, another strong rebound. Out to Nicholson, and she retreats. Shyla out to the corner. Finds Murray off the dribble. Nails the triple. Mia Murray. Long range basket. Back to 4 points.
We knew that we couldn't keep this good outfit down. They're just sort of starting to find their straps, taking some good shots, feeling a bit more confident.
Halvast for 3. Can't connect, and there's another foul called testing the rebound. It's going to go against Townsville.
Holding. Blue ball.
It's a hold against Megan McKay. McKay's number 7 and 7.
It's great this game that there hasn't been any, there's not been a lot of foul calls, so the rotations haven't been dictated by somebody having to sit because they're in foul trouble. The coaches have been able to, make their substitutions based on size, speed, needing to rest personnel, so instead of fouls. So that's really good to see.
Ernst turnaround jumper, hand on it on the way through. Townsville trying to turn some momentum here. Murray with back-to-back threes, doesn't attempt the shot. Away to Nicholson, cutting baseline.
Actually, it's something that we haven't seen a lot of from Townsville tonight is that early drag screen and transition, which Shyla Heel and Nicholson are really competent coming off of that and making decisions. And I thought we'd see a little bit more of that.
Foul caught on Froling. 4-point game. Akuso, pump fake, kicks it back out the heel. He's got the hot hand in the turn. Bounce pass down to Akuso. Jump hook as the board lights up. And it's back to 2. Just a basket in at halfway through the third term. Carly Ernst on the perimeter to Froling. Away to Todd Hunter. Trying to shake heel off the screen. Step back for 3. It's from Levy. Rims out. Rebound to Murray. Heel at the other end to give Townsville the lead. And she drops that as well. Shyla Heel has taken over in this third term.
She has come alive with her shooting.
Quiet first half. As you said, just caught fire in this third term. Able to lead the comeback for Townsville, and as a result, they hit the front for the first time since the opening minutes. It comes with 4.5 to go in this third term. Largely thanks to that woman in Shyla Heel, up to 14 for the game.
Let's go both
Shannon
you guys
Seabourn.
on O start low, and let's sprint up into horns, but come up really high and really tight. Right, so now, Shy, you come off either way. We've got shooters here, right? Meg, you're going to be the roller either way we go. Z, you'll pop high, right? But let's see if we can get off Ernst's side and keep attacking the paint. If you draw help, pitch. If not, you're all the way to the rim, right? Right here, let's go double fist to head tap, right? But the front line, let's be really aggressive, right? Try and deny it into Levy, make someone else get it, right? Double fist to head tap, talk our match, make sure we know where Ernst is, right? Here we go. Fire. Good job, girls. Yeah, we're in head tap.
I think that's a good job. If I'm understanding correctly, what he wants them to do is when somebody's the other team's throwing it in, if you can double the point guard, the main ball carrier in Levy, force somebody else to bring the ball up and call the play and make it, then you know, that can help. Just what they're doing here.
Enormous talent, Shyla Heel. Up to 14 for the game, and Townsville back in front. All right, now a strip. Was caught among 2 defenders. Levy hits the floor, and an easy basket for the Townsville Fire.
It's so nice as a coach when you call a timeout and the team goes and executes exactly what you've asked.
Long-range triple. Ernst puts it up. Offensive rebound, Levy. Out to the corner. McLean shoots the 3, no good. So the shot's just not falling at the moment for Bendigo. Townsville coming in a big way. And chuck it away here on the offensive side of the ball. Froling to Ernst. Ernst trying to lay it home. Goes all the way around, doesn't drop. McKay pulls it down. Cassidy McLean called for the push. It's an adjustment on that score too, so they've reworked during that timeout one of those long-range shots from Shyla Heel that was registered as a 3 that was actually a 2, so she's at 13 points, and the margin is 2, as you can see on the bottom of your screen. So Shyla on 13. That score just pulled back to a 2-point differential. Akuso trying to bounce past it through the lane, lost the handle. McLean to Levy. Now to Ernst. Froling. Trying to find her way through, put the shot up. Didn't drop. Heel at the other end. McKay down to Akuso. Spin move, jump hook, basket. Townsville by 4.
Really easy basketball, simple basketball there. A nice high-low look. Mackay's doing a great job of using her body to seal.
Well, Townsville's equal biggest lead. And Levy chucks it away, trying to feed it down low. Early advance to McKay. More points for Townsville. Megan McKay on her way towards a double-double. 9 rebounds, 9 points to go along with it. Foul caught on Nicholson trying to guard the ball handler and Goulding, who was really the story of the first half, Mary Goulding. 6-point game now Townsville's way. Trailed by 11 at quarter time. First time all season Townsville have trailed at quarter time. Down by 7 at the half and now up by 6 here. Wavy to Ernst from long range, drops it. Carly
Very
Ernst.
timely, that 3-point, because they just needed to stem the flow a bit. And you just want Bendigo to make sure they don't go individual, that they still work together as a team, put the pressure on defensively, because we know how potent Townsville can be.
Can that be the momentum shifter for Bendigo? It's been Townsville's quarter so far. Largely thanks to Shyla Heel. Pulls up, drops the shot. I'm sure it'll count, it won't. You'd always rather them count, but it's nice to know that the shots are dropping. It's just a little range finder as well. She can't miss at the moment, Shyla.
Well, I would just keep setting some plays up for her to get that 3-point shot, because she's looking unstoppable.
Shyla off the dribble here, pulls up for 3 more, left it a little short. McKay clever, taps it to Nicholson. Nicholson off the glass, drops in. User-friendly rollers. Great job, Casey would say. Shout out to John. 5-point margin. Townsville lead at 2 to go in the third. Five left on the shot clock. Ernst trying to chuck it down low, throws it away. Shyla Heel in the mid-court for Townsville. Away to Nicholson, catch and shoot scenario, and that drops as well. They've caught fire, pardon the pun, this third term Townsville. They're out by 8 points now, closing in on 3/4 time.
It's really contagious when the 3s start dropping. Everybody seems to get into the picture, get into the act.
They're getting stops defensively. Akuso with the rebound. Nicholson threads the pass, just slipping through the hands of Kate Gaze over the baseline. She takes responsibility for that. Mentioned St Mary's earlier. Kate Gaze, the graduate through a famous program and strong links with Australian basketball. Lauren Nicholson, another, and that Dellavedova, Paddy Mills, Jock Landale, all through St Mary's. 8-point game, Townsville's biggest lead. Bendigo looking for their first win of the season. Can they swing momentum back? Ernst for 3 more, off the iron, no good. Stephanie Reid, long rebound, chucks it up the floor to Akuso for the basket.
So Townsville are now giving Bendigo a little bit of their own medicine in that transition baskets and looking to run the floor. Bendigo have to make sure that every shot that Townsville take is difficult.
Just 10 points for the quarter. Strong offensive rebound. Rintala pulls it down. And again. Back out to Levy. One back the other way. That won't count either. Foul called before that.
Cancel basket. Red team, 25. In the back. Team fouls. Team fouls here. 18's got 2, Bruce.
Not been able to pick up the ref among all that. Megan Huswaite is with us courtside as we tick towards 3/4 time. Megan, I read your piece on the ABC website during the week about the landmark CBA agreement that was reached between the players and BA. Can you just put that into words for us as to why that was so significant?
Well, it's a watershed moment for the WNBL, Corbin and Laurie. Laurie knows, having coached in the league for a long time, it's taken 41 seasons to get to this point. So to have that additional professionalism for players, and particularly development players, over the next few years, and some great additions to their award as well. It's for the players of now, but for the players of the future. And we're seeing lots of young guns in action this afternoon who are just beginning their WNBL careers, and what we'll see in the CBA will just become the known thing for them. They won't know any different, and that's a wonderful thing.
Isn't it true when, you know, any change like that, it's about past players that have worked hard to get things happening for today's players and the future players. It's, in a lot of aspects, that's the way it is, and it's a really great moment for women's basketball.
Megan Huswaite with that piece, abc.net.au/sport. Lauren Nicholson at the foul line, 2 of 2, so she's up to 20. Continues to accumulate points, and that says nothing about how good she is defensively. Oh, Wavy right on the buzzer at half-time. Tried to bank it off the glass, didn't go. It's Townsville's quarter. They trailed by 11 at quarter time. At three-quarter time, they lead by 11.
Silliness. It's time to enjoy a more progressive driving experience in an innovation, quality, style, and you'll find them all at the Audi Centre in Townsville. And you might even find a few pink fibres from one of those wigs under the front seat. Just have a good look before you buy. Across every one of 200+ roles available, the ADF offers excellent career opportunities for women. They champion gender equality and provide a uniquely supportive working environment. Visit Defence Jobs to find out more. In Jakarta, you can take a riverside walk, swim in the amazing lagoons, or treat yourself with a tropic spree at the nearby Villawood Shopping Centre. Jakarta and Jakarta are
69-58. It's a 11-point margin. Townsville lead it. Shyla Hill largely responsible for a lot of what happened in that third quarter. She's all of a sudden up to 13 points for the game, and Lauren Nicholson in the latter stage of the third term up to 20. Megan Huswaite is with us courtside. Megan.
I was just listening in to Tracy York's three-quarter time address. Expect a big role from Shelby Halvast in this fourth quarter. It's an incredible story. She came in as a replacement player at the last minute for Georgia Pinu. She'd played in a QBL championship here in Queensland. She's an experienced campaigner, and Bendigo are going to need to call on that experience in this fourth quarter.
Shot goes up from Lady. That's a nice start. She finishes through traffic. Levy up to 14 points. 14 of the 15 games so far, Laurie, have been won by the side leading at three-quarter time.
Just another one of your trends, so we'll see what happens at the end of the game.
Big finish from Bendigo. They've been impressive throughout. As Tracy York said leading in, that it feels like our team's got better each game. And the thing to keep in mind is a team out of Victoria, limited pre-season compared to some of the other teams. Just 2 games in quarantine for the Spirit. Foul caught on the offense here. Shannon Seabohm in discussion with the refs. chat to Tracy York during the week. She spoke about the spirit at home sessions that they were able to run over the lockdown period. Of course, Melbourne with a couple of different waves of lockdown, and in particular the second one. So they had 45 different sessions and full Zoom calls with their squad. So despite the fact they hadn't actually been together until late during the quarantine period, as Ernst hits the jump shot. Nice stroke. All of a sudden it's back to 7. They did manage to see each other a fair bit during those online sessions and ran ball handling drills and different team building programs together over that lockdown period across the course of 5 months.
Yeah, there's no doubt that we had to be very creative in the way we did things when you were in Melbourne.
Kuso foul, she'll go to the line.
Sign up here, ladies. Sign up here.
They're quite a big lineup, Townsville, when they have a Kuso and McKay on at the same time. Often they sub in for each other, but they're a good combination.
Makes the first.
Townsville shoot the ball so far this season from the free throw line at 74%. So, you know, that's I always target, most coaches target between 75 and 80 as being passable. Bendigo shoot it at 66%, so they need to get that up a little bit.
Todd Hunter away to Levy. Down to Pelvas. Hands it back off to Levy for 3. Catches the front of the rim. Heel shoots again off the dribble. Nice deep too.
Bendigo might have to look at putting somebody a little bit taller on her. If she's going to do those step backs, and you need somebody that's at least got a long reach and can get a hand up. But at the same time, then that person's got to have foot speed to contain her. So it's pretty hard to defend.
Of course, entering a WNBA draft year as well, Shyla Heel. No prospects, no damage here. Part of the Opal squad, 15 points, 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Her stat line so far. 11 points, Townsville's lead as it was at three-quarter time.
The thing about Heel and Nicholson is they've been really consistent so far this season in their scoring output and what they bring to the team as far as assists, rebounds, hustle, leadership. They've been ultra consistent.
Second shot's good for Jenny Rintala. Naturalised Aussie now. South Dakota State graduate.
Here you go.
Defending full court here, Bendigo. Reed. McKay with the handoff. Heel comes through the lane, tries to get it back to McKay. Called for the offensive foul. Mary Goulding set there. Laurie able to draw the foul.
Yes, a little fist pump there at the end. She was really happy with that. She anticipated that she was going to go right, got her feet set outside the charge circle, and took a nice charge.
13 of her 15 points in the first half. Bendigo led the game by 7 at halftime. Now down by 10. Goulding, Todd Hunter, Pelvas to Levy, Rintala, the 5 on the floor for Bendigo. Here's Goulding. Away to Levy, who jacks the 3 and knocks it down.
Good catch in rhythm again, good footwork, good release.
Hill answers in the other end.
I mean, Todd Hunter did everything she could right there. She got over the screen. She was staying with her.
Right up.
Tala long range shot bounces off the rim. Reed to Hill, who pulls up again in transition. Not on this occasion. Murray. Back to Reed. Kuso goes herself. Lays it home. The scoop layup's good for 2. 77 to 66, back to 11.
And if I was a Kuso, I'd be pointing to my teammate, Megan Mackay, saying, great screen there to allow me to drive all the way to the basket. But you can see here, thank you very much.
What do you put it down to, Laurie, the change in the game? What happened in that third quarter that Townsville were able to work their way back into it?
Shyla Hill?
Yes.
Step backs. Look, I think, you know, we talked about they found their rhythm, they found their shooting. Confidence breeds confidence, and they're just rolling now. Bendigo, conversely, as soon as I think Townsville got that little bit of a lead, they probably went a little bit individual, relying on their main players, and that's hurt them a little bit.
Shy, you go to the 1, right, so hit Z, right, hand off Z, back pick, throw to Meg. Let's look at the high-low. If it's not there, right, Shy's popping back out, go back into a 2-man game with her. So if the high-low's not there, go into a 2-man game with Shy. Here we go.
A really good screen, so look for Z first.
Good. Here we go. Fire. Here we go. Yep. So you'll catch. Yep. So Steph will be.
Let's hear it for your team. JCU Townsville.
So I like how they're talking amongst the team. You know, I'm going to set a really good screen for her to get her open. That, I mean, to have that mentality within your team is fantastic. Let's see if they can pull it off.
11 points as it was at three-quarter time is Cassidy McLean. Out to Goulding. Lavey back up top. Lavey, single digits on the shot clock. Away to Ernst, gets a clean look. Misfires. Heel scoops it up just inside the baseline. Kuzo with the handoff. Murray to McKay, back to Akuzo. Another jump hook's good for 2. Draws the foul. She'll go to the line to add the extras.
And there's that screen from Shyla Hill on Akuzo's player, and then they had to switch. There's a mismatch. Nice finish. Great little play drawn up by Coach Seabaum in the timeout.
Points are good here. One shot.
Able to accumulate buckets as well as the comebacks unfolded. All of a sudden, she's up to 19 points. Tina Akuzo. The 4 playing out there in the open squad. This is another in Tessa Lavey. So Nicholson with 20, Akuzo with 19, Hill with 17, Lavey with 17. So the 4 Opal squad members all with big numbers here. Calvars dribbles inside, shot up, doesn't go, strong rebound. Kuzo tried to block the shot and pulls it down for the Fire. Hill, pass out to Murray. 3 misses. Reed grabs the rebound, tries to feed it to McKay. They reload again. Akuzo trying to give it to Murray and through her hands over the sideline.
I give Bendigo full credit at this stage of the game when they've been leading and now they're down, find themselves down by 14. That last play phase, 3 people just still went hard after the offensive rebounds, crashing the boards. So, you know, they're still in there, they're still fighting, and I give them full credit.
Tracy York, coach of the Bendigo Spirit. Second year at the helm. Demi Skinner out there now. This is Ernst for 3. Kuso scoops it up. Fourteen-point game. Heel, Kuso, nice bounce pass through to McKay. All the way around the rim and it drops.
Who said basketball was complicated?
Megan McKay up to 11 points, 11 rebounds. 5 assists and 2 steals to go along with that stat line as well. 16-point differential. Levy out to the corner. Pelvas kicks it back out to McLean, driving. Fouled on the way there. McLean to shoot a couple of free throws. Such a hot start, Bendigo, led by 11 points at quarter time. If you're Tracy York, what are your big takeaways out of the outing so far, Laurie Chiswick?
Oh, well, certainly the intensity that they played for that 3 quarters and the way they played, the team basketball they played. It wasn't individual. They were getting other people involved. Goulding had some really good looks at the basket and capitalized on those. So again, it's, there's positives, but they want that first win.
Is Stephanie Reid for 3. Levy with the rebound. McLean. Oh, nice pass. Through to Goulding. Little runner's good for 2. Goulding up to 17 points. Her best outing of the season so far. New Zealand international Mary Goulding.
It's interesting with this lead. It's 12 points, 4 minutes left. It's sort of, you feel like you've got the game, but there's still a lot of time left if Carly started to shoot some threes. Townsville have a game tomorrow against Melbourne Boomers. I noticed Nicholson's been on the bench for a while now. That's the challenge of the coaching staff. Do we keep them on? Do we, take them off now and give them a bit of a rest? The game's not won yet, but you do have a game tomorrow too. First priority obviously is to get the win today, but you do think about that in the back of your mind as a coach.
These two teams were originally scheduled to play each other on back-to-back days this weekend. Bendigo's back-to-back move to Tuesday, Wednesday. They play Townsville for a second time and then Adelaide straight out of quarantine. As you said, Townsville with the Boomers tomorrow. And Bendigo on Tuesday before a 2-game road trip to Cairns. It'll be as close to an away game as they play the games in Cairns. There's a healthy rivalry between Cairns and Townsville, the 2 teams from that part of the world. So, even though it's sort of close to their home, I'm not sure they'll be a popular team when they make their way to Cairns. Here's a Crusoe. Works her way through the lane and lays it home for 2 more.
I like that from Akuzo, that dribble penetration from the elbow area. She really had good foot speed on that. And that's nice to see.
9 of 11 from the field. She's up to 21 for the game. 5 rebounds as well. Leads all scorers. Final 3 seconds on the shot clock. Skinner puts it up, misses. Reid with the rebound.
Well, I guess, Megan, you don't have to watch Akuzo for me to see how she's traveling. We know she's doing a great job out there tonight.
Charlotte Heel for 3. McKay with another rebound, rips it down for Townsville. Heel recovers the loose ball. And a purple patch in that 3rd turn. Shot misses here. McKay more rebounds. Foul on the way down. McKay's up to 12 boards. Go along with that, she's in fact up to 14 rebounds those last 2 at it. Also 11 points.
This is by far the most minutes she's played in any of their games so far, and so it's great to see her producing the outcome that she has today.
66% free throw shooter on the season coming into the afternoon. Misses the first. Sandgroper, she was part of the West Coast Waves development program, the old moniker. Now, of course, the Perth Lynx and the basketball WA's path at the moment. Foul shots miss. .4 game, final 3 minutes. Hand off here to Levy. Rintala for 3, drops it. Jenny Rintala, first from the field tonight. 11-point differential. Here's Murray, who's a pocket picked. Rintala in the open court, lays it up off the window, good for 2. Back-to-back makes for Jenny Rintala. A timeout called by Shannon Seabone. Wants to chat it over, back to 9 points, 2 minutes and 13 to play.
Yeah, 9, like I said, that 12 points, 9 points can evaporate pretty quickly if
Townsville leading. They've had to come from behind, trailing by 11 at quarter time. They trailed by 7 at the half. Took over in that third term as Shyla Heal and Lauren Nicholson caught fire, led by 10 at three-quarter time.
On this end line ball,
Here's
we're
Tracy
going to
York.
do jammer on Shyla. All right, so let's have Tessa. So Mary, you're going to have her. So you got Shyla Heal, right? Tessa, you're going to be the one denying. As soon as she passes out of the trap, you're chasing down whoever that big is, all right? So we're coming down the floor there. We got to get into some early good offense. So I think we've been doing swinger downs, been good, or the horns, okay? So it's something good. You got to get on the rim, but each time we got to get a stop. So we'll probably be in red after that, okay? Let's go, guys. Keep fighting. Everyone, 1, 2, 3. Charlie.
Tracy very succinct in her message there, exactly what she wanted to do as far as guarding Shyla, get it out of her hands, and then offensively trying to get some relatively quick hitters.
Nine-point game, final 2 minutes. As Levy guards Reed all the way up. Just makes it up into the front court with a second to spare. Back to Stephanie Reed. Rolls off the pick from Akuso. Lays it up and in. Past Ernst. Nice work, Stephanie Reed.
Well, it was nice work because Goulding was absolutely face guarding, covering Shyla Heal, that she just couldn't even get a look in.
Here's Rintala, turnaround jumper's good, answers back for Bendigo. Nice quarter here. Rintala, last 3 makes down the floor for Bendigo. Shyla Heal left alone. She doesn't miss those. Oh, and Akuso hitting the deck among all of that.
Oh, they both clashed knees together.
She's back up and moving okay. It's Tina Akuso. Big numbers again tonight off the bench, 21 and 5. Leads all scorers. The back of the 3 from Shyla Heal, a timeout called by Coach Tracy York. No audio in the last couple of minutes. 12 points the margin, and Shyla gets herself up to 20. So 20 for her, 20 for Lauren Nicholson, and 21 for Akuso. 17 for Levy and Goulding.
Well, I was thinking about this, you know, thinking if it was a close game and you know, I was coaching, what you would do, and that's what you think about all day when you're a coach. And the thing is with this year is that normally you would be able to practice those in end of game situations. So we're up or down by 4, we want to do this, but in this tight schedule, I'm not sure how much of an opportunity teams would have gotten to be able to practice and do that sort of thing. Know what shots to take when it's a really close situation. I mean, it's not as close tonight, but, you know, they don't have the luxury. They don't have the time when they're training right now.
Megan Huswaite's courtside for us.
Zatina Akuso is fine, thankfully, but she came to the bench for that timeout. The coach said, "Are you right? Do you need to come out?" And she said, "No, what, do you want me out?" And he said, "No, I want you in." So I think it's very clear she's wanted on court, and thankfully she's okay.
Good answer. Good answer.
82% from the field, 21 points. End-to-end work. Nice layup. Points are going to count. Tessa Levy. In fact, the points won't count. The foul's called before that. Both teams in the bonus, so going to walk the length, or in fact, Townsville in the bonus, so they're going to walk the length of the floor to shoot some foul shots. You got her in your final makeup as far as the Opal squad is concerned, Shyla Heel?
Oh, look, I mean, I think she certainly deserves her spot in the squad, and I think Sandy Brondella would be very amused at all of us commentators that have, you know, thought about her squad and different suggestions and that. I think justifiably she deserves her spot in the squad, and then it's up to the coaching staff from there and camps and that.
Very diplomatic answer, you, Laurie Chiswick. Foul caught on the three-point shooter. Foul shots coming up. A COVID sellout, Megan Huswaite, for every game that the Townsville Fire are playing throughout this season in the WNBL. I'm told there's around 960 in for a capacity, which is usually around 2,500. What's it like?
It's very loud, Corbin, it is, and that's 960 plus one cowbell. That cowbell has become part of the atmosphere here at Townsville home games, and, you know, with COVID, everything feels different, but just hearing that bell ring, everything feels the same.
1 of 2 for Levy so far. Third shot coming up here.
It's wonderful when the camera pans to the fans and we actually see them sitting in the seat. It's such a good sight to see.
12-point game. Full court pressure from Bendigo. Townsville work it through. Stephanie Reid with possession for Townsville. Here's Heel. Out to the corner for Murray. Back to Reid. Pick set by McKay. Reid's going to drive. McSpadden. Time runs out. She makes the jump shot from the baseline, but not before the board. Lights up. Shot clock violation. Mara McSpadden, another Novocastrian out there. Formerly with the Sydney Uni Flames, now plying her trade for the Fire. Levy down to Goulding. Goulding for 2 off the window. Up to 19 points, 13 of them before halftime. Best out into the WNBL so far. Mary Goulding just 5 games in. Eight-second differential. He'll add another basket to her points tally. Kicks it out to the corner. Mia Murray, the Townsville vet, catches the rim, doesn't go. Last touch by Townsville. It'll be Bendigo ball with 7.5 left on the clock. Pretty good game of basketball. First leg of a doubleheader for Townsville this weekend. Bendigo leading at quarter time, at half-time, but it's the Townsville Fire on their home floor who have come from behind to pull off the victory and go 3-2. The Fire win it at home. 10 points over Bendigo. Townsville 91. Bendigo 81.
I really enjoyed watching this game. I think, as we said, it was the best game that Bendigo have played. Even though they lost by 10, their margins getting lower and lower. they were good. They played some really good basketball, especially in that first half and the way they came out. So, you know, yes, they'll be disappointed and Tracy will be disappointed, but you don't have time to dwell on it. You've got to get on to the next one. And Townsville, well, that was a game they really needed. They needed it against one of the teams that are lower than them if they're really going to be pushing for that 4th spot or even a top 4 spot.
10-point margin to finish. Let's kick it down to Megan Huswaite.
21 points from one of the rising stars in Australian basketball this afternoon. Zatina Akuso, first and foremost, congratulations on a fighting win.
Thank you so much.
How was it out there? It was a tough game and you came back from a margin, a deficit at halftime.
Yeah, I just think they fought harder in the first half than we did, and we just had to come back, bounce back and play our game.
How did you find it out there? We know you're coming back from an ACL last year and you're spending a bit of time on the exercise bike during the game as well, but 21 points, you're outstanding.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit rusty, but each game I think I'm getting better, game by game.
Are you loving playing with this Townsville team?
Yeah, I love it. We're young, but we've got, we're going down over here. We're good, we're good.
Golly gosh. And Zatina, you played on Liz Cambage on Thursday night. How was that experience?
Oh, it was great. It was. She's very strong. She's very athletic also. Very long. Very long.
And
she's a great player.
And another big jewel coming for you tomorrow afternoon. You take on the Melbourne Boomers. You back up, and you're coming up against Ezzy Madbagor, one of your friends, and another rising star. I bet you can't wait for that.
Yeah, I can't wait. Ezzy's one of my good friends. She's very good player. It'll be tough, but it'll be fun. It'll be good.
It is going to be fun to watch. See, congratulations on the win in your game this afternoon.
Thank you.
Zatina Akuso with us, still blocking shots. Laurie Chiswick just trying to keep the backdrop away from her even after the final buzzer. She finishes with 21 points. Couple of assists to go along with that. A very impressive outing for Zatina Akuso. Here are the match stats, Laurie, 91 to 81. The turnovers, big differential in the end there, 11 in Townsville's favour. They get the win anyway.
Yes, well, and the other thing that sticks out to me is the 3-point shooting percentage. You know, Bendigo 25% when they put up 28 shots. It's just, you know, it almost seems that that's sort of a go-to at the end of a shot clock, whereas, you know, I'd really like to drive it in, put a bit more pressure, see if we can get more shots at the foul line. But overall, very competitive Bendigo, but Townsville Fire just too good on the day.
10-point win for the Fire. They go to 3-2. Bendigo 0-5 to start the new season. Let's go back down to Megan Huswaite.
From one rising star to another, Shyla Hill, a game-high 22 points this afternoon. What was in your drink at halftime, Shyla? Because you were just draining those threes after the break.
Someone literally just told me I came off at quarter time, the same look as my dad in my eye. So yeah, I didn't start off well this game. Our team didn't come out with the energy that we needed. And I'm glad we just stuck together as a group and came back at the end.
Well, it was a great fight back from yourself with the second half that you had, but also the team. You're going to win all sorts of games this year, but that was a real fight.
Yeah, well, we didn't come out the way we wanted to, as I just said, but we need to know that everyone's good in this league, and yeah, we need to come out each game needing to win and yeah, stick together.
You're earning all the big raps on you at the moment, but what's it like being so talked about and having such hype around you? Do you soak it up or do you sort of push it off and just focus on playing?
I just focus on the role that I need to play in my team, getting the wins. I'm not really focused about the outside pressure, kind of just push it away and block all that out. But yeah, I'm really glad we got the win today and yeah.
And you back up tomorrow against the Melbourne Boomers. That is going to be some sort of test.
Yes, we need to go back to the hotel, do our recovery, look at the film, build on some stuff that we need to work on, and yeah, hopefully get the win.
We look forward to that match tomorrow. Corbin and Laurie, it's back to you.
Thanks, Megan, and thanks to Shyla as well. A sensational outing, 22 points. She also had 6 rebounds and 3 assists. Led all scorers, Laurie Chiswick.
Well, she was just fun to watch, flat out fun to watch, and her whole team just, you know, they knew they didn't play well in the first half. They really pulled together at halftime, had some outstanding performances from Heel, from Nicholson, from probably my favorite of the night, McKay, just the role that she played. But it was a real team effort, I thought, from Townsville to come back. And they showed a lot of poise in coming back the way they did.
11 and 14, the numbers in the end for Megan McKay. What did you like about her game?
Well, I just like, as I said during the broadcast, is her work rate, her effort. She doesn't try and do anything too much. She knows what she's capable of doing. She's a great workhorse. She sets great screens for her teammates. She rolls. She's a big target. And I thought she was just a monster on the boards tonight and got some really crucial. There we see her running the floor like a gazelle. Point of the rim, finishing. Thank you very much.
20-plus points for Lauren Nicholson as well, so her season stat line just continues to be enhanced. She had 18 points per game leading into the outing. We had 20-plus from Makuzo, and as I mentioned, Shyla here with 22. Tessa Levy leading the scoring for the Bendigo Spirit. So 3-2 on the season for the Townsville Fire. Bendigo 0-5. The next outing for Bendigo is against Townsville, so they get another crack at the Fire on Tuesday. Well, as Megan touched on, it's the second leg of the back-to-back for the Fire. They're up against the Melbourne Boomers tomorrow. That is our nationally televised game, so looking forward to seeing how Townsville go in the second leg. They haven't won back-to-back games so far this season, Laurie Chiswick. They've had wins now over Perth, Sydney and Bendigo, with losses in between to Canberra and the Southside Flyers.
Well, that's what I think we have to remember, that their 2 losses are against those teams that we predict to be in the top 2.
Laurie Chiswick will be back to wrap it all up next. This is the WNBL.